GoPro's done. Beautiful sight, isn't it? It is amazing. The sun glint right over there. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to get the camera out because that's a really cool picture. Go down that way. With you leaning back that way, how the visor is filled up with the earth. Been working hard on that thing. You can take a break, man. Yeah, it's okay. Your pain will go away, which will last a long time. Oh no! Unless the battery dies. Focus. There we go. Okay. Cross most of these oceans. I believe that. Easy to see them from up here. Oh, I know. I can only imagine what it was like to cross them. I've hunted pirates on most of these oceans. Okay? I've hunted pirates. Literally. Oh, no, I believe you. Using a little dot of shadow under those clouds below us. Yeah. How's your temperature been? Not bad. I haven't messed with it too much. Gets a little bit warm in the day, a little cold at night, so I think it's perfect. Moon's been good. A little extra sunlight would help me out, but fine. Gotcha. What I didn't realize is it's more shady. I should have thought about this, but it's more shady on the nadir side, of course. Yeah. Now that you said that. The cold. Yeah. Myself up too.
Hey, Maker, it's Ike. Are you a shellback by any chance?
Why, yes, I am. Thank you for asking.
Well, you know, you guys are about to cross the equator at the prime meridian. So I think that will upgrade you to a royal shellback, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that's excellent.
And I guess by default we got to make Mark one. Hold on, let me get my trike.
The ritual, though. Here you go. Neptunus Rex is online, and you'll just make it happen. I think I can reach EDF6 from here if you want to do it here while we're waiting.
Hey, Maker, we'd like you to inspect that grapple fixture that's off to your left. I believe that's on the adjustable grapple bar, just forward or just outboard of your left knee. Just inspect it. Let us know if there's any damage. And then we've also seen the Velcro on the battery pack on your PGT may have come loose. If you could secure that.
Okay. Well, the target is looking pretty old. It's seen better days, but it looks like it's in good shape and sturdy. There's no corrosion on the primary shaft or on the course guides. And the pin below looks pretty straight for guidance. Although the color between the white lines and the black lines is becoming a little bit blurred because the black is faded.
Copy. Thank you. And then the Velcro in your PGT battery, and we'll be in a good config.
I'll try to get you some pictures of that.
At the 5 hours 16-minute mark into the spacewalk, Mark Van de Heij and Scott Tingle about to complete the torquing of fastening devices called expandable diameter fasteners that are forming a hard and tight and secure mate between the newly installed spare latching end effector and the wrist on the B side of the Canadarm2 robotic arm as the International Space Station flies from southwest to northeast, soon to cross the west coast of Africa around the coast of Nigeria. The crew is conducting this spacewalk in methodical and excellent fashion so far, while the flight control team here in Mission Control evaluates the time remaining and whether or not any of the get-ahead tasks that are on the menu for today can be undertaken with the time remaining for today's excursion.
Before it's back in a good config. And you're also probably about that far off the southwest coast of Africa. You're going to go feet dry over Nigeria.
Excellent.
And gents, just a heads up on what's coming next once the arm is powered up. You're going to take the comm with Nemo and maneuver to published, and that'll be about an 80-degree negative roll on the lead. And we want to make sure that EV2 has access to EDF6 and EDF number 3 for Sabo. And if you look station port, you can see the coast of Africa.
The International Space Station is about to cross directly over Lagos, Nigeria, and will continue to move from southwest to northeast over Niger, Libya, and across the northern coast of Africa over the Mediterranean. We are now 5 hours, 21 minutes into the spacewalk as the crew continues to tightly secure the spare latching end effector to the B side of the Canadarm2 robotic arm.
Yeah, Ike, how we doing on the timeline?
So that's not a straightforward answer, but last I checked, we were about 25 minutes behind, but we're getting a state command error on the Lee. So we're talking over what we're going to do forward. I think we're going to wind up proceeding with the rest of the install, but I'll be back with you here in a moment.
Okay.
And just in case you're wondering, this is a software thing. It looks like the install so far has been going great.
Okay, thanks. I was just kind of wondering if maybe there's a chance we would have to take this off.
Jen's 4.5 minutes until sunset.
Copy, thanks. Is that for sun in the eyes for you? Yeah.
He's got the best sunglasses on and off the planet.
I did not use that thing.
gents. We're 2 minutes to a handover.
Mike, what are we flying over now?
Is that are you guys over the Med? I can't tell. You're just off the north coast of Africa. And so, big picture-wise, what's going on with the arm? This software download issue is preventing us from talking to the Lee like we want to. So, we're putting in work, powering down the arm and marching toward doing a connector cycle. So that mate-demate mechanism, we're not physically going to remove the Lee again. We're just going to cycle that mate-demate mechanism. That's the 35 turns. And so right now the arm is being powered down, and I'll get some PGT settings and steps up to you here shortly.
Okay, we'll be ready for it.
This is Mission Control Houston, 5 hours, 33 minutes into the spacewalk. Victor Glover, the spacewalk communicator, informing Mark Vande Hei and Scott Tingle, who are outside the station, that the Canadarm2 software is not communicating properly with the newly installed spare latching end effector. They believe the problem may be associated with this mate-demate mechanism that connects all of the electrical and communications connections for the arm. So they're going to do a cycle of that and see if that corrects the problem. The crew is in a good configuration right now, as you can see in this view, with Tingle at the bottom of your screen, Mark Vande Hei with the red stripes on his suit at the top of your screen, and in between the two of them is the newly installed spare latching end effector at the end of the Canadarm2 robotic arm. So we'll stand by for further words on the disposition of this software glitch that apparently is being addressed. The robotics officer here in Mission Control is powering the Canadarm2 down once again to enable this mate-demate mechanism to be cycled by the crew through the use of the pistol grip tool to make sure we have a firm connection for that connective device.
Mark, I think you are over Turkey, flying toward the Med. And I've got some PGT settings for you when you're ready. The arm's powered down as we speak.
Ready.
Alpha 4, counterclockwise 3.
Alpha 4, counterclockwise 3 is set. How many turns?
Stand by, Mark.
Stand by.
If you can remember way back then, it's located between EDFs 5 and 6.
Yep, I know where it is. Still standing by. Wanted me to not do. I was way after.
Once again, the robotics officer here in Mission Control is powering down the station's robotic arm for a moment or two to enable the crew to back out the bolts connecting a mate-demate mechanism that basically provides the electrical and software interface between the Canadarm2 and the newly installed spare latching effector. The Lee is not receiving the proper software commanding. We think that's because we need to reseat that mate-demate mechanism, after which the arm will be powered back up to see if that has done the trick. Currently 5 hours, 36 minutes into today's spacewalk.
And Mark, you can drive the demate mechanism 35 turns to a hard stop.
Five turns to a hard stop, counterclockwise. 3, Alpha.
Alpha 4, counterclockwise 3, and affirm, counterclockwise to a hard stop.
Copy. And I got a low torque fault, I think it was about 32 turns. Do you want me to try it again? We continue going until I'm sure I got the hard stop?
Affirm, Mark, please reattempt.
So the pin should go in as we mate, right? We're demating. Okay. Great. That was a good question. Thanks for double checking that. Yep, no additional turns, and I got a 0.04 turns additional. 6.3 on the torque and a green LED.
Copy. Please verify the mate demate indicator is fully out.
The mate demate indicator is fully out.
Okay, Mark, I've got PGT settings for you. We're going to now connect the mate demate mechanism.
Okay. I have a feeling it's Alpha 4 clockwise 3.
Good remembering.
Once again, the mate demate mechanism that provides the electrical and software interface between the newly installed latching end effector and the rest of the Canadarm2 robotic arm is being cycled back into the mating configuration to see if that will do the trick in solving a communications error message that was received when the arm was initially powered up. Once this mechanism is bolted into place again, hopefully to have it reseated in the proper configuration, that will solve the problem.
Uh, 36 turns, green LED, and a torque of 6.2. The actual turns off the PGT was 35.51.
Copy, and verify the mate demate indicator button fully in.
It's fully in. Yep, okay, good.
Copy, thank you. Okay, verify your tools and tethers are still clear. We're prepping for a power-up, and when you guys are clear, you can give us a go for the arm power-up. When you guys are clear, you can give us a go.
That make you clear? All right, I'm clear. So, STEM EV1, your go to power up the arm. We are both clear.
It's not Groundhog Day, but it's going to take another 12 minutes.
Copy. Got my fingers crossed.
The robotics officer here in Mission Control now resending commands to once again power up the Canadarm2. And then we'll see how the communications interface works between the newly installed latching end effector and the rest of the arm.
Maker, what I just realized is I was trying to get to that EDF before. I took my left foot out. I probably should have taken my right foot out so I could lean more to my left. My right leg out. That's why I popped out of the APFR when I was trying to get over there. But maybe. I don't know. Maybe not.
And gents, if we could get a glove and hap check from you both, we'd appreciate it.
One half is dry, gloves, no change. E2, gloves are baseline, half is dry.
Copy, thank you.
Once again, we're passing between satellites on our tracking and data relay satellite network. We'll regain a downlink television capability from the station a short time from now. 5 hours, 45 minutes into the spacewalk, standing by for the repowering up of the Canadarm2 robotic arm to see if we have cleared communications message errors between the newly installed latching end effector and the rest of the arm.
Sabo Maker, Tony says you guys are doing a great job.
Positive feedback is always appreciated. I'm sure Tony's doing a great job too.
And Jen's power up this time was nominal. Congratulations.
Excellent. Hey team, way to go everybody.
And 5 hours, 51 minutes into the spacewalk, that did the trick. The recycling of this mate-demate mechanism and the new spare latching end effector is now communicating with the rest of the arm. So good news for the crew outside the International Space Station and the flight control team here in Mission Control as we stand by for further word on whether or not time remains in today's spacewalk to tackle any get-ahead tasks.
Okay, let's do the GCA to publish. Start GCA.
Copy. Let me set up robot arm station for single joint maneuver.
All right, give us a heads up just before you move, and we are clear.
Copy. Okay guys, brakes are off and the single joint, and this time I am turn wrist roll negative about 40 degrees or so. So let's start. Negative roll.
Okay, start that roll. We might have to continue past that though. Start GCA.
Okay, start GCA.
Good motion.
Copy, good motion. Ready to go.
You're going to have to continue to more like 80 total.
Copy, 80 total. About published position.
Continue another 10 degrees.
Continue. Up 10 degrees now.
You think, Maker? I can reach 6 from here. I can reach 3, so GCA complete.
GCA complete.
Okay, when you guys are ready, I've got PGT settings for you.
Brakes on.
Copy, thanks, Nemo. I think I'm ready.
All right, Bravo 2, clockwise 2.
Bravo. Bravo 2, clockwise 2. 2. Clockwise 2.
Mark, you can...
EDF 3 to torque, is that right?
Affirm.
All right, I got 2.86 turns, LED, and 15.8 for the torch.
Copy on EDF 3. Maker, you can drive EDF number 6.
Again, it didn't work. Okay, I had about 5 turns. I've got a torqued out, but I do not have a light. And it says 0.
Okay, Maker, can you hit it again for us? Bravo 2, clockwise 2.
Bravo 2, clockwise 2. Yep, confirmed. Okay. There's the red light. It just showed up. Running a little slow, I think. Okay. Okay. It was about 5 turns and green light and 18.3. That was a total of 5 turns.
Copy total and good readback. Okay, now we're setting up for the final install of the EDS, all 6. The order is going to be 6, 3, 5, 2, 4, then 1. I've got PGT settings for you, and we'll be starting with Maker.
Okay.
PGT settings, Bravo 7, clockwise 2.
Which bolt are you doing first, Maker?
Number 6.
I believe it was 6. Okay, good. Okay.
And Mark, after he drives 6, you're going to drive 3.
Copy.
And with Bravo 7, clockwise 2, Maker, you have a go to retrigger EDF 6.
Retriggered and got a green light with 25.3 on the torque. It did move more than a quarter. I'm going to hit it again. Yeah, I think you said you go to retrigger. Yeah.
Yep, per the retrigger plan, you have a go to retrigger to the final.
Okay. Okay, that was definitely less than a quarter turn. Green light, 25.5 on the torque.
Copy 1 retrigger. Mark, you can drive EDF 3 to a hard stop.
Okay, this will work. Okay, I got 0.10 turns, 5.3 on the torque, and a green LED.
Copy, you have a go to retrigger EDF number 3.
Okay. On retrigger, 0.06 turns, 25.5 on the torque, and a green LED.
Okay, copy. If both of you could verify EMU Tether's tools and the ingress aids are clear of the SSRMS and CLA rotational envelope, I will hand over comm to you and Nemo for the wrist roll.
Right, Maker's clear. I am clear as well. Nemo, we're ready for GCA if you are.
I am ready.
Okay, could you take us back to just take out all the roll you just put in?
Stand by.
Roger that.
Okay, stand by.
Okay, gents, we're going to take one step back to EDF number 3. And Mark, you have a go to re-trigger EDF 3, Bravo 7, clockwise 2.
Okay. And did I tell you that it was 0.06 turns last time?
We've just passed the 6-hour mark in today's spacewalk. Everything continuing to move ahead as we move into the home stretch of activities. Mark Vande Hei and Scott Tingle, a short time ago, recycled a mate-demate mechanism, providing the electrical and software continuity between the newly installed spare latching end effector and the Canadarm2 robotic arm. That did the trick, and we now have communications capability between the end effector and the arm, so that's all good. The crew is in the process of conducting a final torquing of the structural stiffening mechanisms, the attachment mechanisms between the latching end effector and the wrist portion of the Canadarm2 robotic arm. So we're standing by for further word on whether or not time will permit any get-ahead tasks as the crew moves in to the final phase of today's spacewalk, the 206th in support of space station assembly and maintenance.
Ready for GCA?
You're looking for access to EDFs 1, 2, 4, and 5. You have the comm. 2, 4, and 5.
Copy. Emo. Put the GCA to take out all the roll you put to get us where we are now.
Roger that. Okay, this time, positive roll coming on.
I agree. Good motion.
Starting motion.
Good motion. Continue.
Continue. This is around the original position.
Perfect. Get complete.
Complete. Brakes are on.
Thank you, Nemo.
Okay, Mark, with the same settings, Bravo 7, clockwise 2, you can drive EDF 5 to a hard stop.
Yeah, that should work. All right, driving to the hard stop, I got 0.28 turns, torque, LED, torque of 25.8.
Mark, you have a go to re-trigger EDF 5.
That should work. I assume a minimum of 2 re-triggers is required?
Affirm.
Okay, thank you. Okay, 2 re-triggers gave me a total of 0.08 turns, green LED, and a torque of 25.6.
Copy, Mark. Maker, please drive EDF number 2 to a hard stop.
Okay, I got Bravo 7, clockwise 2.
Good readback.
Okay, that was about 1 turn at green light and 25.8.
Copy, Maker, you have a go to re-trigger EDF 2.
Okay, re-trigger's got 12.1 of a turn, a green light, and 25.9. Sorry, 25.4 on the torque. Up.
Copy, Maker. Sabo, drive EDF number 4 to a hard stop.
Okay, that was 0.23 turns. LED 25.8 on the torque.
Copy, Sabo. You can retrigger EDF 4.
And work. Two retriggers for a total of 0.09 turns, 25.6 for the torque of the green LED.
Copy, Sabo. Maker, please drive EDF 1 to a hard stop.
Okay, I had one turn, green light, and 25.4.
Copy. Retrigger EDF 1.
Trigger was not measurable in turns. Green light with 25.4 on the torque.
Copy. Can you pull all 6 EDF lanyards and verify the EDFs cannot be retracted?
Pull the lanyards too tight. Break. Shoot, I just hooked the workstation again. Maker. Oh, what's that? Oh, never mind. I think I just got out of it. Almost. It's behind your BRT, actually. If you just lift your BRT up. Okay, yep, and then slide right. There you go. You got it. Release the pressure. Yeah.
And we're going to make a slight modification. While you're doing this, a WVS survey will suffice. We don't need photographs, so while you're pulling them, if you can, scan with the WVS. That will be enough for us.
Good. Copy. All right, good pulls on 4 and 5. Pulls on 6, 1, and 2. Trying to get the 3. Able to get to 3? You know what? Can definitely get to 3 if I come out of the HFR. We rotate for 3 egg.
Mark, did you ask me a question?
Actually, Maker asked a good question. Might say it might be less time if we just do another GCA to get access to 3. Bolt number 3. And out there in La La Land.
Okay, yeah, you have the comm if you need the GCA to get to 3. Comms to you and Nemo.
All right. Nemo, we're going to need a GCA. That would be a negative roll of 60 degrees.
Okay, negative roll, 50 degrees, 50.
60.
60.
Thank you. Our GCA, and make sure you're clear, correct? Yep, I'm clear.
Okay, all clear, and start GCA. Starting negative roll.
Good motion.
Copy, good motion.
Continue.
$20 degrees. 30.
Operating the station's robotic arm from inside the station, Norishige Kanai of the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency is sending commands to roll the wrist joint of the arm so that the crew can inspect it and take closeout photos following the installation of a spare latching end effector. All of the expandable diameter fasteners, the stiffening connection devices to form a hard and structurally rigid mate between the latching end effector and the wrist portion of the arm. They're all in good shape and have been torqued into place.
Like I have the... it goes this way. Oh. You might have to get them on and then rotate it back. Yeah, that's okay. Power it up. All right, let me get this one on. Got these two on. And the canonical is almost on over here. So it goes attached there. This, I'm going to pull this towards me for a sec. Okay. Let's fold it under. We got it under backwards. What's the top side? We got it twisted, don't we? Top side is just this. There you go. It should be this, the white part that doesn't look weathered. Yeah. Was on the inside, so yeah, it is twisted. So I think your fingers are on the top right there. This part right here is the bottom. No, that. Yeah. You got twisted. Okay. But if you keep rotating that way, I met him, is that right? So I get to get in your visor. There you go. Keep unrolling it. Yeah, I'm just on here at the seam, and it doesn't want to turn that way. Wants to go the other way. You might be twisted on your end. So I have a side that's completely stitched in. Yeah, and I'm starting there, and it doesn't. So at the seam, it's separated there. That's the place it needs to twist completely out. Yeah, there you go. Keep going that way. Yeah, so, okay, gonna turn it inside out a little. Hold on. Okay. Seeing your visor looks good to me. Yeah. Right, get that up there. Now the Velcro along this bottom plane, yeah, helps keep it connected to the top. So find where that Velcro patch is and make sure that's on. Got it. In there. Gonna need some help connecting that seam, huh? Yeah, we're gonna have to rotate it. All right, now I think if I rotate it back, did we get it? I don't know. I don't see it off anywhere. The seam is away from the station. Right. I think it's open. Okay. Want me to rotate towards you or me? Can you? If you rotate it 90 towards me, I can get to it. Okay, Nemo, let's do another GCA this sec. Before we start that, Houston, you go with us doing a GCA for the 90-degree roll.
Whether positive or negative?
Nemo, let me talk to Houston first.
Yeah, you can do that, Mark, go.
All right, Nemo, let's do a GCA, positive 90 degrees.
Copy, positive 90 degrees. Are you guys clear from the arm?
We are clear. Thanks for asking. Our GCA.
Okay, here we go. 90 degrees, positive. Nothing.
Motion.
Good motion. Continue. And 20.
Baker, you can take the calls. Roger that.
50. 70.
Stop motion there, Nemo.
Okay, stopping motion.
GCA complete. Yep, GCA complete.
Okay, GCA complete. Next on.
Okay. The strap on here for me. Interesting. So my BRT popped up. I can help you with that in a second if you want. I might keep doing what you're doing, and I'm going to get you sick in the meantime, and it's tethered to me, so it's no big deal. Here's a WBS scan, so you guys can see it.
And Mark, you may want to put the jaws end of the BRT on the T-bar as a way to secure it out of the way.
Hey, you're secured with a tether. Okay. Your tab is up. If you pull the tab down, never mind. Disregard. Yeah, you gotta release the tab. There you go. You had it almost in there. Right there. Yep. It's angled out a little. You gotta angle it right in, right there. Push it in. You gotta line up the square. Rotate the top towards your left arm. Not towards my left arm. Your right arm. Your right arm. There you go. A little bit more. And it should pop in. The fixtures in the way. And I'm gonna put I'm checking it's tethered. Okay. Hey, if you put it on your main workstation, I can get it in for you in a little bit. Okay. See that. Okay. Okay, you got the MLI on. All right, we'll take care of this when we're out of the APFRs at BRT. How's the MLI looking with the WVS?
We love the MLI. Yeah, way above and beyond. So when you guys are ready, you can give Nemo a go to the back-off position.
Make sure you are clear, correct? I am clear. No, we are go for the back away. Out of GCA.
This is Mission Control Houston, 6 hours, 20 minutes into today's spacewalk. Mark Vande Hei and Scott Tingle have secured thermal insulation around the newly installed spare latching end effector at the end of Canadarm2, as Norishige Kanai, whose nickname is Nemo, operates the arm from inside the station at a robotics workstation, now preparing to send commands to back the arm away from the work site. Affixed in a portable foot restraint at the end of the arm is Mark Vande Hei. That's been his work platform for the bulk of today's spacewalk, which has gone by the book so far. No issues associated with any of the tasks so far, as we stand by to see whether or not the crew will be given the go-ahead to tackle any get-ahead tasks today.
Okay, guys. I input the wrong axis. I need to go roll negative. Sorry. Give me 1 second to finish up rolling action. Start negative roll. Then next maneuver is going to be negative X backing away. Motion start, backing away.
Good motion.
Copy, good motion, continue. 2 meters to go.
All right, Nemo, you got it on your own. We're clear of the arm.
Set to go.
Sure if we should try to trade the scoop now or not, Maker.
All right, Saber,
if
and
I'm going up to do the arm sequence.
Maker, we'll take a glove and hat inspection from the both of you. And then we're going to have Maker get out of the APFR first.
Okay, arm is in the position. Flag is on.
And you want dry hat, gloves, no chain. ED2. Gloves are baseline and the hat is dry.
Copy, Maker. You can egress the APFR.
Roger, working on it. And Maker, your seat tether is also between your legs. Just okay, thank you. You come out of the APFR if you just put your legs straight back in. There it is. You're free.
Nice job, gents. Maker, you're heading to stow the scoop in the crew lock bag.
Grab the ratchet. The RMCT.
And Mark,
Go for me to egress the APFR.
Mark, you can egress the APFR.
That didn't work.
And Mark, you're going to retrieve the RET from the ESP2 handrail and stow it on your mini workstation.
Work on this BRT first. Yep, that's good.
We concur.
Okay, Mr. Mark. I get down my local Maker. Yeah, me too.
And we're 2 minutes to a handover, gents.
Ready? You want to do BRT first? You want to get rid of the scoop first? Hand me the scoop, and I'll just take it. Okay. On my red. Copy. Your red coming back to you. Okay. There's your red. Thanks. Alright. Alright, I have this BRT as floppy as possible. Okay. And just so you know, my right earphone just quit working. Okay. My haps are dry. My hat is dry. Thank you. Alright, back to you.
So was that Sabo, was that your right ear cups just stopped working?
Oh, that was Baker's.
Copy. Maker, EV2's right ear cup stopped working. Haps dry. Thanks.
Yeah, alright, BRT, unestablished, tabs are up. Baker, you're a hero again. Thank you. You're the hero.
Nice work, gents. And just a big picture for the both of you. We're going to get that whiff adapter out of the degraded lead. We're going to button up MLI 1. Dang it.
I'm going to start putting the scoop in the bag, Maker. Okay. Do you want the ratchet? I don't know yet. I'm still waiting for words. Copy. I'll stand by you.
Okay, gents, back with you. Talking through the handover again. Bad on me. Okay. We're going to remove the whiff adapter and work on MLI 1, and then we're going to ingress. We're going to skip the MLI 2 tie-down part. And so with that, for both of you, if you would low profile the ingress aid, collapse those, and then fold them down to the foot plate, the boot plate. And then for Sabo, I've got settings for you when you're ready for your APFR.
Okay, copy. My ingress aid is collapsed. Do a low profile.
And copy, Sabo.
I just said my ingress aid is collapsed to low profile. I'm putting the square scoop in the fuel lock bag.
Copy. I see that in work, and copy on the ingress aid.
Could you grab that camera over there, too? Yep, you bet.
This is Mission Control Houston at the 6.5-hour mark in today's spacewalk. Mark Vande Hei and Scott Tingle are beginning the early portion of the process to gather tools and tethers to take inventory of their equipment now that they've completed the installation of a spare latching end effector at the end of Canadarm2. The new end effector is communicating in great shape with the rest of the arm. All is well, and the crew has completed all of its tasks that were on the plate for today's spacewalk. The first of 2 such spacewalks associated with the refurbishment of this arm. The second will take place next Monday when Van der High ventures back outside, but this time with Norishige Kanai of the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency to bring a failed latching end effector removed from Canadarm2 last October into the Quest airlock. It will be returned to Earth on a subsequent flight of a SpaceX Dragon cargo craft, and to move the degraded latching end effector that was removed earlier today from the end of the arm to a attachment bracket on the mobile base system rail car of the station.
Copy.
Eyes 9.
Copy. Good settings, Sabo. And can you confirm you picked up that degraded Lee Rhett off of the SP2 handrail?
I did not pick that up yet. Thank you.
Could you grab that for us, please?
Gotcha.
Thanks, Sabo.
Give it a heads up. Take a moment here and take my cooling. Yeah, I'm going to do that now. I'll be right back with the camera. Got it. Turn off my glove heaters too, Major. Yeah, mine's running rough. Thank you. All right, Sable. Do we want to throw the camera in the crew lock bag, or do we want to just take it back on this? I think we might take them back. It'll probably be faster than trying to get them in the bag. I'm with you. I'll just keep it. You can put it outside the airlock when we get there, and then I can probably hand it to you. Yeah, we'll just read it to your handler. Yep. Okay.
Okay, Sabo, I see you in the vicinity. You can ret to the WIF adapter on degraded Lee B when you're ready, and remove the wire tie and the WIF adapter.
Family call, thank you. All right, I'm right by your feet, Sable. Copy, I promise not to kick. Nope, and we need to get the MLI into the crew lock bag as well, right? You know, we might have the space for it. I don't know if we plan on putting it inside.
We were going to stow it on the outside.
Going to be open.
Per the plan, you can ret to the MLI number 1 and then release the quarter turn fasteners and stow it on the outside of the crew lock bag. And Sable, I see you working the wire tie. You're going to stow the with adapter with the wire tie in your trash bag. Excuse me, in the crew lock bag.
I want the whiff of...
In the crew lock bag.
Thank you. In the crew lock. That makes sense. Thinking I'm not going to get this whiff adapter in the trash bag.
This is Mission Control Houston, 6 hours, 37 minutes into the spacewalk. The crew is wrapping up a bit of cleanup outside of the Quest airlock as they tied down some thermal insulation around the Canadarm2 robotic arm. Everything has proceeded on track for them to return to the airlock and complete the spacewalk a short time from now, once they have finished the tie down of that multi-layer insulation or thermal insulation, and take final inventory of their tools and tethers.
I got one. Okay. Yeah, I thought it. Oh, my right ear cup just came back. It's all good. Oh, nice. Yeah. It's good to hear, literally. Yep. All right, that whiff adapter is ready into the lock bag. I'm thinking there's nothing else going in this crew lock bag. Gotta get the cameras. I'll just carry this one back. We'll carry them back. So, if there's nothing else going into this crew lock bag, I think this would be a good time to do an inventory.
We agree.
Okay. Crew lock bag inventory coming up. And I just interrogative. Did you have specific settings for the or the port APFR as well, or IAPFR, or do you want me to just leave it as is?
As is fine. Just the ingress aid.
Ingress aid folded. Just the ingress aid. Okay, let's fold it down. Okay, I lock back inventory. 1 internal ret with MLI 1. Had a small ret on a GP caddy with a inside of the GP caddy is a spare EDF and the puller. On another integral ret, we got a socket caddy with an ERAD. The ERAD has a 2-inch socket on it. The socket caddy also has a 12-inch wobble. 7/16 by 12-inch wobble. And on an integral ret, we have the square scoop. On a small ret, we have the ratchet driver with a 2-inch socket. And we have on the final integral ret, we have the wire tie, the whiff adapter with fit pin and wire tie. That's all the internal stuff. And I think we can get this MLI inside the bag if you are comfortable with that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, that's over to you. And just verify that the FMS blanket is still attached external and that there is a large, small ret also. And that'll be a good inventory.
You know, so we haven't messed with MLI 1 yet. FMS blanket is what we're talking about putting in, right? Or is this is the FMS blanket? Yes. Yeah, we're talking about putting the FMS blanket inside crew lock bag 1.
Copy, and over to you. Sounds like a good idea. And then verify.
Okay, I'm going to close one side of it, maker, so I can stuff. I'll roll up the bottom end for you. Get the other side of the door balanced. It'll make it. Yep.
As the International Space Station skirts up the eastern coast of South America, just flying currently over Montevideo, Uruguay, the crew outside of the complex, Mark Vandehei at the top of your screen, Scott Tingle at the bottom of your screen, continue to wrap up work as they gather tools and tethers and all of their particulars that they will bring back inside the airlock for the completion of today's spacewalk. The first of 2 associated with the upgrading of the station's robotic arm with the installation of a spare latching end effector next Monday. In the second of these 2 spacewalks, Vandehei will be outside with Norishige Kanai of JAXA, who will become the 4th Japanese astronaut to walk in space, as they bring inside a failed latching end effector that was removed from the arm back in October during a spacewalk by Vandehei and Randy Bresnik during Expedition 53, and repositioning the degraded latching end effector that was removed from the arm at the beginning of today's spacewalk.
Almost. Oh, that was my bad. All right, I don't normally go to the outside, but that's what I just did. Okay, yeah, I don't think we're going to get this one on this side. I think you're right. Secure. A little bit of extra stuff. Okay. Okay. But we're so close. My concern is now the way these things pop and open, that one of them pops open on the way back. So if we got an adjustable down here, we can wrap it around. Could you put that handle? Could you put that in there? Can you rotate the handle? Yep. I mean, I'm holding the door down. Can you rotate the handle? Oh, the latch. Thank you. Hold on. One more. There you go. Perfect. This one's okay. All right, so now I'm going to work on. All right, we got the FMS blanket inside the crew lock bag.
Nice work.
And
there's a large, small red on the outside of the crew lock bag. We show you just got to hook that to the MLI number 1, and we're ready to ingress.
Yeah, we'll give you the big hook, and we'll leave the small hook attached. Now, MLI number 1, yep, it's out here, right? Okay.
Affirm, that's the one with the quarter-turn fasteners.
Copy. And you talk about the big hook on the railing, and the handrail.
And those quarter-turn fasteners are on the zenith side of the pivot bracket.
But we're taking this inside with us, right?
Affirm. You can bundle it to the outside of the crew lock bag and remove the quarter-turn fasteners, and you're taking it in with you.
All right, so we got a red on the bag, but I gotta undo the quarter-turn fasteners. Roger, can you reach it? The bag. Yeah, that's my safety tether. Your safety tether is good. Your local is still attached. Roger. Let me know if you need me to release it. I got 2 quarter turn fasteners, invisible.
Yep, that's it. And the quarter turn fasteners are on the zenith part of the pivot bracket. Yep, I see you got one. And you don't have to make this pretty, gents. Get it ready to the outside of the bag, and you can head toward the airlock.
The thing about a quarter turn fastener, you got to turn it a quarter turn before you can get it off.
Sabo, turn the quarter turn fastener a quarter of a turn, and then remove the MLI. Hey, Maker, we've got that lab strut green hook fair lead. You can head there now to go pick that up and then meet Sabo at the airlock.
Say that again, Ike.
You can go pick up your green hook and then meet Sabo at the airlock.
Yeah. Make sure we get the MLI. These things are hard to manage. You got it, Maker, thanks. You got it? Yep. Okay. I'm going to move out. I'll go get my green hook.
Thank you.
I'm not, we don't have a safety tether cross. We're good. Yeah, you got a longer route back.
And Sabo, if you need, you can use the MLI straps to bundle it to the crew lock bag. Then you can translate to the airlock. Belay my last. Then you need to get the crew lock bag on your BRT.
Roger. Not a big fan of one-handed operations to translate. Yeah, you and me both. I'm going to do an incapacitated MLI bag rescue. There you go.
Sounds good and looks good. And once you have all that, you can translate to the airlock. Hey, Maker, we saw in one of the videos something shiny in the vicinity of your feet. Can you give us an inspection and see if you notice anything?
Let me look. Remove. They do not see anything floating or floating away.
Can you go back to that first position when you look down? We think we saw something. Look down to your left. A little more left.
I'll try it again. Hold on. A piece of dirt floating away, but...
Okay, all right. Once you have your green hook, you can head to the airlock, Maker.
Okay, thank you.
Sabo, I see you're grabbing your green hook off the CTC handrail.
That's affirmative. The green hook attached to the red reel.
That's a good config, Sabo.
Thank you. right, Sabo, right behind you. Copy. I'll let you. I think I have to go first. No, it doesn't matter. Well, you're going in first, so just give me to get there. That's good. You do have that other camera, right? Yep, I got it.
This is Mission Control Houston. We're just minutes away from hitting the 7-hour mark in today's spacewalk as Mark Van de Hei and Scott Tingle are complete with their work for the day and are making their way back toward the Quest airlock to close the hatch and to begin the repressurization of the airlock that will mark the official end of today's excursion, the 206th spacewalk in support of space station assembly and maintenance. Again, the work for the day successfully completed, that being the replacement of a degraded latching end effector or hand for the station's robotic arm with a spare that resided out on a spare parts platform on the station. That all went well, and the crew is now making its way back to the Quest airlock for the official completion of today's activities.
You have a go to open the thermal cover. And Maker, when you're set, you can ingress the airlock.
Gotcha. There's looks like a piece of rubber going station meter and aft at about 1 meter per second.
Copy.
Alrighty, might be able to see it, my WVS. I think I'm getting tangled up in my tether here. It's all free to go. Start making my way in, Sable. Feathers are looking good. Yeah, they are. I just put that right on the airlock D-ring extender. All right, Mark, if you need some help with your camera, I'll help you out with that. It's maybe on the back side. Pop it off. It's on a red, so no worries. It's stuck on the bayonet. Okay. BRT in.
And Maker, we see your waist tether on the D-ring extender. Can you verify it's locked?
Paper, black on black. Tails closed. Good pull test.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Top of your place is hitting. Pitch you down. Yeah, thank you. That worked. Maker, would you make sure your small hook on your waist tether is closed and locked too? Well, get the RMCG out of the way. right, my right hook is attached and black on black with a good pull test. Copy. All right.
Copy. That's a
go.
good.
I'm going to go ahead and
Copy. That's a good. Go ahead, Sable.
release your. If you agree, I'm going to release Maker's safety tether and put my waist tether onto his safety tether. If you want to hand me the crew lock bag and I'll throw it in? Sure. That's a much better idea. I like the way you're thinking.
Maker, this is Joe on one. Just keep an eye on that reg going to the RMCT. It's going to get wrapped up on your right arm.
Okay, sounds good. Let me pop it off my DRT quick. Yeah, let me get a red on it. Hold on. Try to present you the side with the belt spot. Okay. Okay. Could you release the red on my DRT? All right, we're good. We're good. Okay, thanks. All right. Congrats. We're going to be a little mess here. If possible, okay, so there is the RMCTs out to the side, and it's got red. I'm going to try to move it. That looks like it. I'm sorry. All right. I'm in, Sable. Copy. Oops. You're going to have to push that camera up towards me a little. Can you come in? Yeah, I'm not. The camera's still on me, so I'll work on it in just a sec. Okay.
And Maker, just for your SA, your SCU is out of the pouch, so it's going to be up above your right shoulder.
Okay.
And you might want to get it now before Sable gets in. It might be easier.
Okay. Houston, my safety tether, Maker's safety tether pack is connected to my waist tether. The large hook on my waist tether is closed and locked. Small hook on my waist tether is closed and locked. I am removing my safety tether with your go.
That's a good config. You have a go. That's a good config. You have a go.
Copy, thanks.
This is Mission Control Houston, 7 hours, 4 minutes into today's spacewalk as Mark Vande Hei and Scott Tingle begin to make their way into the crew lock section of the Quest airlock. There are two compartments to Quest. The innermost section is the equipment lock where the crew suits up. The crew lock section, and you see Vande Hei beginning to enter as we speak. That's the outermost section. Behind him is the thermal cover that will be closed before the hatch is closed and locked to begin the process of repressurizing the airlock to mark the official end of today's spacewalk. Vande Hei and Tingle began their spacewalk at 5:49 a.m. Central Time, 6:49 a.m. Eastern Time when they put their suits on internal battery power. The end of the EVA is marked by the repressurization of the airlock. A Russian spacewalk's duration is measured from hatch open to hatch closed for the Pirs docking compartment airlock, which will be in use on Friday, February 2nd, when Anton Shkaplerov and Alexander Mazurkin venture outside the station for a 6.5-hour spacewalk to attach a new high-gain antenna to the Zvezda service module.
Okay. It's only on its integral red. I don't know if you have an extra red. You can just red it to yourself. All right, no, let's see. Let me know when that's ready, and I'll pop the red off the swing arm.
Here in Mission Control, Flight Director Tony Sakachi standing as he flashes a smile back to Spacewalk Officer Sarah Corona in the back row of the International Space Station Flight Control Room. Again, the crew working through the procedures as they are inside the Quest airlock, soon to close the hatch and begin the process of repressurizing the airlock that will mark the official end of today's spacewalk.
The cameras in here. Yep. All right. And drop your feet down, and there you go. We can take all that NOI off to the side. I'll turn around and grab my grab the thermal cover. Okay. All right, thermal cover is closed. All right.
Copy, thermal cover closed.
Where am I in the airlock now?
Sabo, you can remove your SCU from the stowage pouch. And it looks like the thermal. It looks like the thermal cover popped open.
It is.
And the thermal cover is being closed. As you can see, the International Space Station is currently flying just south of Rome, moving from southwest to northeast. This track will carry the station and its occupants across Central Europe,
Thermal cover is closed.
southern Russia, and over northern Kazakhstan.
All right, let's get my feet down. Woohoo! All right, nice. All right, trying to keep the cameras up here for. I'm going to try to get to my SCU pouch. Okay. All right, Ike, what were you saying about the SCU?
I was going to say you can remove it from the pouch, which it sounds like you're doing.
SCU is out of the pouch.
And you both can remove your DCM cover and Velcro it to the DCM.
Victor Glover, who has been the spacewalk communicator, will hand off those chores to Joe Acaba here momentarily. Acaba, inside the space station, is in the equipment lock section of Quest, looking through the hatchway's porthole into the crew lock section. Acaba, who helped to suit the crew up in the wee hours this morning, will be responsible for the repressurization steps and ultimately opening the hatch and getting, with the assistance of Norishige Kanai, the crew back inside the equipment lock so that they can doff their suits. Here in Mission Control, Glover will hand off communications duties to JAXA astronaut Aki Hoshide, who has been sitting alongside Glover for the duration of today's activities.
You confirm you're both working to connect your SCU to the DCM.
EV2's got his locked already. I'm still working on mine.
Copy, EV2 SCU locked. EV1 in work. And a note for you guys while you're working that Sabo, a TCV setting of 8, max cold minimizes time for SCU cooling.
Come on. Need help? Not yet. I'm getting close. It's on, not locked yet.
Copy. On, not locked. Sometimes that MLI gets in the way of that lever going all the way to locked. If you want to reach over to your right side where the...
It's locked.
Okay, copy. SCU locked.
It's locked.
Okay, both of you can switch water off to the forward position. Expect water is off message. Expect.
Water off, EV1. Water off, EV2.
Copy, water off, EV1 and 2. Okay, a caution, do not close the hatch until EMU water off for 2 minutes.
One copies.
This is Mission Control Houston. You were looking a moment ago at the view from Scott Tingle's helmet camera, approaching the 7-hour, 14-minute mark in today's spacewalk. And there's that view once again inside the crew lock, the outermost section of the two-compartment Quest airlock. We are approaching the moment for the repressurization that will mark the official end of today's spacewalk. Our coverage today will continue until the hatch between the equipment lock and the crew lock is opened by Joe Akaba, and he and Norishige Kanai can move the two spacewalkers back into the equipment lock itself.
Give you a fist bump. Oh. But you're tired of our floating cameras. Oh, yeah. Trying to keep everything corralled, but starting to get tangled up, so.
Since verify the outer hatch is clear of hardware.
Outer hatch is clear of hardware.
Verify handle position per hatch decal.
Handle position for the hatch decal. Actually, never mind. You know what? There's an adjustable out there. My right wrist does not have an adjustable. It's on MLI.
Sabo, we concur, and that is okay. And you can close and lock the hatch. Okay.
Okay.
Close and lock the hatch.
I'm working on that. Thank you. All right, Maker, I'm going to try to get way up high. Hey, you need me low? I need you low. I'll get down. There we go. All right, how's that? Perfect. Thanks, brother. Welcome. I'm going to pull on the bottom. Lock in again. Okay. This is one thing we don't practice at the NBL. Nope. Getting that hatch closed. Let me, I got turned around here. We got a lot of reds down there. Just make sure nothing's caught up in. Good call. I'm checking again to make sure nothing's stuck in. There's nothing protruding through the hatch. Oh, I concur. From what I can see. If you agree, I'm going to start closing the hatch per the detail. Yep, I concur. You're just pressing down, rotating to latch. Some handle here.
While the crew configures its tethers inside the Quest airlock with the hatch now closed, inside the equipment lock section, on the left, NASA's Joe Akaba. On the right, Norishige Kanai of the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, as they are watching through the porthole of the hatch that's separating the two sections, monitoring the crew's activities as they prepare to begin the repressurization of the airlock to mark the official end of today's spacewalk. The crew once again successfully replaced a degraded latching end effector or hand for the station's Canadarm2 robotic arm. The degraded latching end effector that was removed at the start of the spacewalk is now on a temporary stowage bracket on the spare parts platform right outside of the airlock. It will be moved on Monday's spacewalk by Vande Hei and Kanai to the mobile base system, to a payload attachment fixture on the mobile base system rail car.
B2's made it, and water's off.
Okay, Sabo, verify the EV hatch is closed and locked.
EV hatch is closed and locked.
Okay, Maker, on the UIA, check oxygen EMU1 and EMU2 valves are open.
They are open.
And Maker, please switch power EV1 and EV2 to on.
EV1, EV2 power are on. I have two good LEDs.
Copy. And check power EV1 and 2, volts 18.0 to 19.0.
18.5 for both.
Copy. And gents, both of you on your DCM, switch power to SCU and EV, expect a warning tone.
choose some power.
Gents, it's been an honor and a pleasure. At this time, I'm going to hand you over to Joe.
And thanks, Ike, and the rest of the team. This is a wonderful plan, and of course, multiple layers deep with whatever issues we ran into. Truly appreciate it. And thanks for setting us up for success, getting us back in safely.
All right, well stated, Mark. And all right, let's get you back in here. So for both of you on your DCMs, let's take O2 actuator to press.
Here in the mission control room, Victor Glover on the left, Aki Hoshide on the right. They have been the communicators or Capcoms, with Glover handling the bulk of the communications activities with the two spacewalkers, as he will again, partnered with Hoshide next Monday for the second spacewalk in this series by Van de Hei and Kanai.
On the EV hatch, can you check the MPEV is closed?
Checking. MPEV is closed.
Okay, with that, I'm going to go ahead and throttle the IV hatch. I'll start off slow. When you can expect an EV alert tone. When I get to 4.0, you'll get another one, and then we're going to stop at 5.0. If you guys are ready, here we go.
One, ready. Two's ready.
All right, gentlemen, I'm starting slow. How you guys feeling?
Everyone's feeling good. Do the same.
Ready for a little bit of increase?
Everyone's good. Two. Same.
The repressurization of the Quest Airlock's crew lock section is underway, marking the official end of today's spacewalk at 1:13 p.m. Central Time, 2:13 p.m. Eastern Time. Today's EVA, the elapsed time, 7 hours, 24 minutes. Once again, the repressurization of the airlock underway, marking the end of today's spacewalk at 7 hours and 24 minutes. The spacewalk officially concluding at 1:13 p.m. Central Time, 2:13 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll have spacewalk statistics for you shortly.
Way to go, Maker. That was awesome. You really did a fantastic job today. Oh, I don't know. Lots of things we can could have cleaned up and made life easier for you. You here? Well, through the whole thing. No. I thought...
You guys still feeling good?
Still feeling good. All I know is there's multiple times I need your help, and you're right there helping. Yeah. I'd like to bring it to the next level. I just don't think my body's going to help me do that. Hey, Joe, we're still hot mic, right?
And guys, you are still hot mic.
Okay.
Beat me to it, Aki. And I'm going to give you guys a little bit more.
You want copies? You okay with that, Maker? Yep, I think so. I'll let you know.
All right, I'll do it small.
Okay.
You guys feeling good?
B1's feeling good. F2's good.
And we're at 150 for 259.
B1, 82. Hey, Nemo, that was a great job, too. And, Joe, thanks for making sure we were well queued up. And
This is Mission Control Houston with some statistics at the conclusion now of US EVA 47. This was the 206th spacewalk in support of space station assembly and maintenance. The first spacewalk conducted at the International Space Station this year. For Mark Vande Hei, the 7 hours and 24 minutes in today's spacewalk brings him to a total of 20 hours and 45 minutes of spacewalking time during 3 extravehicular activity excursions. Of course, this was the first spacewalk of Scott Tingle's career, 7 hours and 24 minutes. And the 206 spacewalks now in support of space station assembly and maintenance has totaled 1,285 hours and 49 minutes of spacewalking time. That's the equivalent of 53 days, 13 hours and 49 minutes of spacewalking time since the first space station extravehicular activity back in December of 1998.
Gentlemen, we're going to start a 2-minute clock, take a number, and it'll be another minute after that, so just hang out.
The Quest Airlocks crew lock section now has reached 5 pounds of pressure per square inch. This is the pause point for flight controllers to assess all of the parameters of the repressurization activities. The repressurization will resume shortly up to its normal level of 14.7 pounds per square inch. That will enable Joe Akaba and Norishige Kanai to open up that hatch that you see right behind Akaba to begin the process of bringing the 2 spacewalkers back inside the equipment log.
Houston airlock on 1. P1 is 260. We're starting another 1-minute clock.
Copy, Joe. Following along.
And airlock for Joe, your watch looks pretty nice. So when the guys come in, you might want to take that off.
Thank you.
And airlock Houston on 1, we see good leash check. You can press with the cue card.
Okay, we concur. And gentlemen, if you can check your glove heaters are off.
EV1, glove heaters are off. Yes, glove heaters are off.
You shouldn't have had any today, but just do a quick scan of your gloves for any contamination.
EV1, no contamination. It's clean.
Okay, on the DCM, let's take your O2 actuator to IV.
Okay.
I think I only heard one, is that correct?
You did only hear one, yep.
Thanks.
Okay, finally found it. O2 actuator for EV1 is IV.
Great, copy for EV1, EV2, you both are in IV, so I'm going to go ahead and continue equalizing. I'll start off slow and then we'll crank it up a little bit.
EV1. 2.
This is Mission Control Houston. The repressurization of the Quest Airlock's crew lock section has now resumed. Everything looking good. We will continue our coverage through the time of the opening of that inner hatchway to the equipment lock, and Akaba and Norishige Kanai helping the two spacewalkers back inside. Just one more look at our statistics for the day. The spacewalk concluded at 1:13 p.m. Central Time with the repressurization of the crew lock section of Quest, marking an end to today's spacewalk at 7 hours and 24 minutes. Mark Vande Hei now has 20 hours and 45 minutes of spacewalking time during 3 excursions. The first 2 were conducted back in October. This was Scott Tingle's first spacewalk, 7 hours and 24 minutes, of course. The 206th spacewalk in support of station assembly and maintenance, totaling 1,285 hours and 49 minutes of spacewalking time, which equates to 53 days, 13 hours, and 49 minutes of spacewalks. The next spacewalk is on tap for Monday by Vande Hei and Norishige Kanai, who will become only the 4th Japanese astronaut to walk in space. behind Takao Doi, Soichi Noguchi, and Aki Hoshide, who was on console today as one of the Capcoms or spacecraft communicators, joining Victor Glover for that chore, as he will be again on Monday when Van de Hei and Kanai venture outside to move a failed latching end effector removed from the Canadarm2 robotic arm last October back into the Quest airlock. It will ultimately be returned to Earth for repair on a SpaceX Dragon cargo craft, and the degraded latching end effector that was removed from the end of the Canadarm2 at the beginning of today's spacewalk and mounted on a temporary bracket on a stowage spare parts platform outside of Quest. It will be installed on a payload attachment bracket on the mobile base system rail car of the station to be used as a spare if necessary in the future.
Guys still feeling good?
You want feeling good? Yep, too soon.
That rate, or you want some more?
No, that's good enough for me.
Keep it right there till the end.
In addition to next Monday's spacewalk by Van de Hei and Kanai, and again our coverage will be normally as planned next Monday. We got off to a later start today as we recouped from the government shutdown, but next Monday our coverage will begin at 4:30 a.m. Central Time, 5:30 a.m. Eastern Time, with the spacewalk scheduled to begin at about 6 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Then on February 2nd, on Friday, February 2nd, a Russian spacewalk will be conducted by Anton Shkaplerov and Alexander Mazurkin, the two cosmonauts on board the International Space Station. They will venture outside the Pirs docking compartment airlock for a 6.5-hour spacewalk to install a high-gain communications antenna on the Zvezda service module, with our coverage scheduled to begin at 8:30 a.m. Central Time.
$600 for 750. We're getting there.
Outstanding. What a web, huh? Yeah. Hey, it's all good coming in. Well, wanted to help you out a little bit more than that. The RMCT, which we never got, was still down here. And I had so many cameras, everything was getting wrapped around it. It was just like, all right, I just need to herd all this stuff up into the corner and leave it, keep it out of his way. I appreciate that. When I saw what was going on, I was like, uh-oh. No, I knew the MLI was going to be tough.
Where'd you go?
You know what, had I been smarter about where I put that crew lock bag, that would have made a huge difference. I was having to cross over the APFR every time I wanted to get something.
As the International Space Station moves just to the southeast of New Guinea, about to move into an orbital sunrise, Mark Van de Hei and Scott Tingle are arranging equipment inside the crew lock just behind that hatchway. You see Joe Akaba, who is monitoring activities and systems as he awaits the completion of the repressurization of Quest. We're almost at 14.7 pounds per square inch, at which point he'll be able to open up that hatch, and he and Norishige Kanai will assist the two spacewalkers back inside the equipment lock.
Day at work.
Not over yet.
Roger that. Yeah, the team on the ground was fantastic. Yeah, they were. I'm really happy they got the SSRMS rebooted. And, oh, yeah, me too. I was getting worried. Seemed like the demate and mate worked. Well, like a fancy version of a power cycle.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and open up the hatch, and so Maker, just things are moving on your end, so just make sure you're clear.
Put on up. I can go, Maker. Okay. Man, look at all that room. I think we're clear. There's another crew member in there. Don't say that. At least not on a hot night. He just wouldn't get to wear a spacesuit. Joe's taking a picture of our mess.
That would be Nemo. Houston Station on Houston Airlock on 1. We'll give you guys step 4.
And with the repressurization of the crew lock complete, the hatch now open. Norishige Kanai at the hatchway. He and Joe Akaba will momentarily bring the crew back inside the equipment lock. Once again, today's spacewalk lasted 7 hours, 24 minutes to replace a degraded hand or latching end effector on the Canadarm2 robotic arm. The swapping of spares on brackets outside of the Quest airlock will be the focus of attention next Monday, January 29th, for the next spacewalk to be conducted by Van der Hai and Norishige Kanai.
And Joe, you are correct, and we'll let you know when that's complete. Airlock Houston on 1. Step 4 is complete. You are no longer hot mic.
All right, okay, that sounds great. I'm going to be switching over to 5 to talk to these guys.
Copy that, Joe. Thanks.
Scott Tingle back inside the equipment lock section of Quest, having completed the first spacewalk of his career, 7 hours and 24 minutes. And Mark Vanderheyen now inside the equipment lock. Having completed the third spacewalk of his career, a total of 20 hours and 45 minutes. He'll add to that total next Monday when he ventures back outside with Norishige Kanai of the Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency, who will be making the first spacewalk of his career. That spacewalk Monday will be devoted to bringing a failed latching end effector removed from the station's robotic arm last October inside the Quest airlock, ultimately to be returned to Earth for repair, and moving the degraded latching end effector that was removed from the arm at the beginning of today's spacewalk onto a grapple fixture, a payload attachment fixture on the station's mobile base system rail car. This is Mission Control Houston with Mark Vanderheyen and Scott Tingle now safely back inside the equipment lock. There will be the usual photos taken of their gloves and other components of their spacesuits. Back here in Mission Control, a shift handover is about to get underway as Scott Stover at the bottom of your screen will take over the Orbit 3 team from Tony Sakachi, who's exchanging handshakes with Victor Glover and Aki Hoshide, who are the spacewalk communicators for today's activities. With that, we'll wrap up our coverage for today with one programming note. Next Monday, the next spacewalk in this series by Vanderheyen and Norishige Kanai of JAXA will commence, with our coverage beginning at 4:30 a.m. Central Time, 5:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Another planned 6.5-hour spacewalk to complete the refurbishment of the Canadarm2 robotic arm. You can follow all of the Expedition 54 cruise activities on our website at www.nasa.gov/station. We'd like to thank everybody out there for joining us today for today's spacewalk. Again, a 7-hour, 24-minute excursion by Van der Hei and Tingle as the replacement of the latching end effector on one of the sides of the Canadarm2 robotic arm was successfully completed. Have a good day from all of us here. This is Mission Control Houston.